I wonder if we're going to go into 2 hours at this point. But you know, at least, even though you don't talk much, from what I remember of Let's playing these games by myself, at least thinking that you're listening to stuff I say, it actually like makes me talk a lot more than I usually do.
You always talk a lot more. You're always talking, talking and talking about something, and it's impossible to insert a word usually. So that's very fortunate that I don't actually have to say anything.
I don't think you ever tried to insert a word, so you can't really say that it's impossible from your experience.
Well, sometimes I do, and it feels like it is.
Well, by all means, you're free to insert a couple words while I'm finishing off this crowd here.
Okay, now you completely ruined the chance that I am actually gonna say something.
Yeah, say nothing. For the love of... just sit there and say nothing.
That doesn't work, unfortunately.
I think that was a quote from somewhere, but I can't remember exactly the quote or the situation. It might have been from that one show, but I don't remember where it was from. That's for sure. Big guy.
Was
Okay.
that another token tree or something?
Yeah, but someone's shooting me, so I'm just gonna do that first. Ah, that guy. Then I'm gonna pick up these corpses. And now I'm going to talk to this tree. The first is half the fourth plus 1. Better hurry or you'll be done. Okay. First, half of fourth plus 1. Well, I guess we'll just have to find the fourth then. This brings back memories of games where I actually had to get a paper and some writing implement and actually write stuff down, like Myst or Might and Magic.
You played Myst?
I played Myst 3 Exile.
Oh, okay.
Only that one. And I loved it, but it crashes nowadays on my PC, so I can't play it anymore. I was recommended a good let's play of it by some guy recently, but I haven't got around to watching it. Yeah, that game was kinda cool. What's the surprise? Have you played Myst?
Yeah, I've played the real Myst, I've played Riven, and I've played Uru.
What's real Myst?
Real Myst is Myst 1 on a 3D engine.
Okay. If I remember correct, some screenshots from Myst 1, the graphics there probably really suited for a very old 3D engine. Because even though it was rendered, I think it looked completely like bad. I wonder if Myst 3... yeah, I think Myst 3 would be totally possible in real time at this point. I wasn't ever really that interested in the series, so I don't know like what company made them or whatever, but I wonder if there is a cult following of some sort for the Myst games, which could prompt like the old developers to start a Kickstarter for like a remake, as is happening a lot these days. Maybe they could make a full real 3D real-time remake of Myst 2 and 3. That would be kind of interesting.
Well, as far as I understand, Myst 1 and 2 and the last one, that Uru Ages Beyond Myst, were made by one company, like the original creators, and the other games in the series were made by some other guys.
So the only game that I played was made by some other guys.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I like the game that I played, so I don't know if I would like the actual Myst games as much. I was kind of interested in the stories, I guess, and I remember Myst 3 had like the epicest music at the time of what I ever experienced in games. Oh, wow, I'm suddenly almost dead. Thankfully I have a solution for that sort of stuff. That was the wrong solution. Damn it. Okay. Cheapest temple, here we go. Those fuckers in Freehaven really could have given us a discount for building the freaking temple from ground up. But no. Recall Beacon Castle Alamo. I wonder if it's supposed to be pronounced Alamo or Alamos. Kinda sounds like a not really English name, like Spanish or something, which would necessitate like dropping the S at the end, maybe, but I don't know really any languages besides Russian, swearing Russian and English, so can't really say. Also, did someone just throw a fireball at me? There is no... well, maybe the warlocks throw fireballs. I wonder if there is like a fireball shooter trap like in this game. There's a lot of those. Actually, it would make sense with this narrow corridor here. Let's test it out. They really like making narrow, long corridors and fireball shooters. Yep!
So how are you supposed to avoid that?
Just step to the side. The corridor is wide enough to avoid it. Like I just did before quick loading, so yeah, that's not really... It can only catch you off guard if you're not... What? Ah, okay. These guys are hiding there because of pathfinding, but it's really efficient actually. And that fireball... I wonder if it shoots periodically or there's like a touch field there. Where should I go? Where should I go? I'm really getting lost at this point, but... oh, okay. And there's a switch. I know there's at least 2 locked doors, so I wonder if that's unlocked a door. The second and next to the third. Also pretty like a bird, so maybe the second is B. I wonder if the word is Obama. I think the word isn't actually a real word. Oh, I think I remember the riddles now. If you mentioned the riddles at the start of the video, I remember some riddles, but I don't remember which game they were in. Were they in Might Magic 6? I think, yeah, it had like 4 directions from some kind of room, and they had riddles lifted from Lord of the Rings, I think. Did you mean those when you talked about riddles?
Well, I have no idea what are you talking about. I thought I remembered some riddles from the episode where you had to go to the Oracle. I think they were in that same episode. Or maybe not, I'm not sure. I remember some riddles.
Maybe I went to the Oracle at the same time as... I think that was like one of the temples of Ba that had that. Or maybe... yeah, I think it was one of the temples of Ba. That had this area with 4 directions, which of them offered you a riddle, which someone said were all from, I think it was the Lord of the Rings books. The fireballs just whizzing by. I am just wandering about. Okay, this is... fucking hell, just ran into it. Pity
well,
those
Skype
fireballs.
is still being a bitch and showing me an incredibly pixelated image with incredibly low FPS. So...
well, I just was trying to keep near a wall there, but the second I decided to run across to this other wall because there was an obstruction in my way, the firewall shot and hit me, but it wasn't very strong, very powerful. Okay, and this is... I think no, I'm not standing in the place of fireballs right now in turn-based mode. Let's see, why did I even go here?
This will be useful.
Oh! That's cool. But this guy has an artifact version of the golden mail, so fuck that. Okay, what else? Corpses and some other thing here. An axe. Massive halberd. Massive disappointment, more like. A pity that these old games aren't as... what would be the good word to use? you know, like in Dark Souls or similar games, it's fun to try out different kinds of weapons, even ones you wouldn't normally use, because you wonder how they handle, how the combat feels with them, and stuff.
Well, I still haven't played Dark Souls, but I think I can understand what
Yeah,
you mean.
I was counting on you being able to imagine pretty much, because I know you haven't played Dark Souls because you don't play anything. I advise you to play like Rune or Dark Souls. But...
And I still haven't watched Pandorum.
Ah, yeah, you motherfucker, yes. Yeah, well, your loss, largely. But in Might Magic 6, the weapons only, like... The difference is merely in numbers that we don't really see. Well, maybe we do see them, but they don't really mean anything to us. So,
Oh, come on, you were saying to me before that you really like how all those items look on the characters' paper dolls.
well, sure, but it's not like we can actually see them move and attack and do anything. And the halberds and staves and I think spears, there's just really no reason to use them. I don't think they're more useful than the standard swords and axes maybe, or daggers. And why would you? You wouldn't. And like in Dark Souls, I would use all the weird weapons because it was an interesting challenge, at least, to use them. Some of them were secretly kind of useful, like the claw. But in this game, it's not as interesting to do stuff like that for me. And stuff like maybe trying to select an odd party instead of the optimal one, like here. The closest to odd party I would think of is like 4 knights or 4 sorcerers. But I don't, for example, see a reason to ever choose like druids or archers, or, well, maybe druids, but archers or paladins or whatever else. So that's a bit of a drawback of these old games, and I have tried to play the older Might Magic games a couple times, but I couldn't get into them as much because, well, I think maybe largely because my versions didn't have music, and I don't like the incremental movement system, if you know, the go tile and only rotate by 90 degrees. I kind of hate that.
Like in Legends of Grimrock?
Yes. It doesn't have any nostalgic value for me because I haven't played games like that as a kid, and nowadays I just can't really get used to that kind of movement system. And I think it was. I can't really solidly say how or why, but I think it relied even more on me just kind of paying attention to the numbers of like damage, the hit points. Maybe there wasn't like enough visual representations of things like that. So I'm not sure why, but I couldn't really get into those games, even though I really want to play them. The stories seem interesting, but I don't know. At least I know the stories a little bit. There's gonna be some references in Might Magic 7 to those old games. So if I ever get around to that game, I'm gonna have to explain those stories. But at this point you already know that there is more to the Might Magic universe than the fantasy world that we actually play in. There's like a space stuff with the ancients and the aliens that they fight, and the ancients make like colonies and construct droids and spaceships and whatever the hell they want. Apparently, I think John Van Cunningham was also a fan of Star Trek, so he inserted those elements also. There is a couple references to Star Trek in this game, like Q, or I think one of the dungeons which is supposed to be like a fallen starship of some nature. I'm not sure at this point already, because it's called the Tomb of Varn, and Varn is like the world of Might Magic 1, I think, and it's nothing like the dungeon, because the dungeon is like an Egyptian pyramid. And so I don't know what the fuck, but it has some like, maybe in one room it has like seats for the crew, and the names of the crew, or like the crew titles, are lifted from Star Trek, or they are referenced in some amount, I don't know. We'll get to that when we get to that. I'm really actually looking forward to that dungeon. Because I remember there were a couple buttons in one room there, which as a kid I still haven't found what they do, because all they did was like shock me and not work. And maybe now that I'm bringing, this guy is a master of perception, maybe he'll be able to actually, what the fuck is he doing with 121 skill points? Ah, I think I'm waiting for the blaster skill so I can invest and develop, I guess. What's the word? Прокачать. How would I say прокачать in English?
Level up?
Level up skills. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I would want to level up my blasters a lot more, because for killing big stuff like dragons, it's possible for me to do at this point, but it's really tedious. So blasters would make short work of that. And it's also fun to use blasters in a game like this.
Do you know any other games where you could use technology against magic?
Might Magic 7!
Okay, except for Might and Magic.
Not really, nothing comes to mind like that. I think like Shadowrun had magic, but it was largely like Cyberpunk or something like that, but I never played any Shadowrun. I only know that it had magic and technology from like a game description from Great Dragon magazine. So yeah, that's not the most reliable source of info for me.
I suddenly remembered Arcanum, but I guess it's not quite like that, because what I'm thinking about is I don't know, blowing up some elves with a helicopter or something
I
like
would
that.
like a
That
game
would be
that-
cool.
Yes, I don't like elves and I would like a game like that, but I don't remember any game having that. When I was thinking of ideas, as I told you before, I was thinking like, not seriously considering, mind you, even for my daydreams of games I could make, but it would be interesting to make a story. You know, there are stories like modern day person goes to like medieval times. There's a book like that, there's a movie like that, Black Knight I think it's called, and there are a lot of stories like that. But I think it would be even more interesting to have like a modern, or maybe even a guy from a future with futuristic weapons somehow get transported to like a fantasy setting, like more fantasy than this, like Morrowind's setting, with all the I don't know how to even describe, but he would just kind of spit in the face of all the high and mighty like elves who thought they knew stuff about the world because they are good at magic and things like that, and he just would shoot them with assault rifles.
Yeah, I would like to see something like that.
I would really want. I think there might be a mod like that for Morrowind. I would really like to just get a minigun and go around kill every last dark elf in Morrowind.
Well, I've seen a mod that replaces horses in Skyrim with cars, so probably there is something like that.
Yeah, I think I remember some sort of video about a mod like that for Skyrim.
And I'm pretty sure there is an Aliens vs Predator mod for Morrowind. And
Yeah, I also
think
remember
I have
that.
even seen that with my own eyes.
I saw that back during the times when I was actually considering like modding for Morrowind. The best mod for Skyrim though whoa, what the fuck is this? The best mod for Skyrim that I remember is the shout that makes it rain trains.
What?
Yeah. That was a great fucking... I don't know where the train model was from, but that was pretty much what happened. The shout makes it really like cloudy skies, a storm and scary weather, and then it will just start raining trains which explode like meteors.
Do they actually kill people?
I think they kill people. I'm going to find a video of that
Oh.
after this. Also, what the hell is up with this door? When I pressed it, it made a sound like a door opening, but it didn't actually open, so I don't know. I just don't like that room with all the mages, so I'm going to flee. But I think that's actually the room where I'm asked about the word. I'm not certain, but I think I remember the room having that type of layout. Wow, this is totally so non-linear. I cannot deal with it. Okay, can I jump here? No. Is there a spell jump in this game? I don't remember. I don't think there is. There is. And I still cannot jump here because it's too low. Maybe. Okay, let's see what's in here. A pool! What the fuck is this? Why did... So... Oh my fucking lord, no. I think that was triggered by me using the door. Let's try again. That guy is laughing like a maniac for some reason. Okay. Kill this woman again. Not a bad thing at all. I don't mind having to kill them again. Okay, before we get really creepy, let's see. No. Do they? Yeah, no, they just appear when I walk here. That's a dick move. But using door doesn't actually do anything, so I don't know. Is there a lever? No, there's not a lever. So what's the point of this? Maybe just for a trap. But I'm not going to fall for it a second time. Let's try jumping here again. No. Okay, whatever. These stairs are calling for me then. Thankfully, I think the later Might Magic games kind of stopped doing that kind of stuff with the ambushes and spawning monsters. This game was a much bigger asshole than the later ones. It had like chests that would teleport you to a room full of monsters and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I wonder... No, it's normal chest. Actually, there were chests that would teleport you in the middle of a couple of monsters in 7, but it wasn't really as bad. Okay, no, that's not a valuable enough item. Okay, deck of... The deck. Let's see, it's still that day, which gave me personality without real drawbacks. So what does he have? He is really personable. I wonder why his personality is... that's probably because he's insane. But yeah,
I guess people don't like you when you're insane.
I wouldn't know, but I guess I can trust you. Okay, let's see if I can just jump down here. I can, but why would I? Actually, it's not that bad. Yeah, I'm glad I decided to do this dungeon. Now I'm wondering, kind of, because the level ups in this game, they don't actually give you better stats, they only give you more health, mana and skill points. And seeing as I'm not really spending my skill points at the moment, I wonder if I'm actually gonna have a stronger at all party for the other two dungeons, which are hard as hell, the Darkmoor Castle and the Kriegspire Castle, which have two remaining memory crystals. I was kinda hoping to buff up before I go there, but I guess that won't actually be possible.
Do skill upgrades actually influence something? I mean, like, you have to get a certain skill level before you can get that master degree or whatever, but does improving your skills beyond that actually help?
Well, yes, a lot of effects like of magic and weapons and armor. Well, really, I think all the effects, they have formulas depending on the number, and the master or expert level, it's like some multiplier, other multiplier in those formulas, or sometimes it's additional effects like in the magic skills. So yeah, some of the skills are probably worth upgrading indefinitely, but I really want to have a lot of skill points left for the blasters, so I don't know if I'm going to do that. Yeah, the spells are what comes to mind first, because they most of the spells have the damage. It's like number to number multiplied by the skill. And so yeah, there's that. And the weapons, let's see. Yeah, skill added to attack bonus, skill reduces recovery time. Some different bonuses even on different levels of mastery. So there's a lot of things here which are actually secretly happening, which I don't think I ever knew or remembered. I just know that bigger number is better. And it makes the decisions easy for me. Okay, was I here? No, I wasn't, because I dropped into here from above. Wow, an opening
Fancy door.
Yeah, that's a door, and it's actually not locked, which is a first. And I think I was here. No, I wasn't here before. And all parts of this room are on my map. Let's drop down. Thankfully I can hug the walls like this and not die of the drop. Okay, but I was here. Fuck. Where do I go? Yes, let's go here again. I can drop into that circular thing, or I can try my hand again at or I can just kind of return here. Okay, let's return here because it's easiest to follow for me.
I really have no idea where are you going, where have you been, what's the geometry of this place.
I don't either, but I at least recognize some of the shapes on the mini-map. But if I was watching, I would be just like that. I would have absolutely no idea. And I watch like Let's Plays, I guess it's because I don't really pay attention to layout myself, because I don't have to. But people, when they... What's she doing? People, when they seem like they know where they're going, I'm always baffled, like, how do you know where to go? Even if like they're playing the game for the first time and just kind of familiarize themselves with the layout, I'm like walking back and forth a couple times. And they know where to go in that case, and I don't, because I am not paying attention when I watch Let's Plays anymore. Well, like ever, I don't think I ever did. I never watch many Let's Plays anymore. Only like blind Let's Plays of Mother 3 maybe. And the Yogscast videos. And that's it.
Why do you watch Yogscast?
I don't know, it's kind of funny sometimes. They have a lot of funny stuff. Trucking Tuesdays are comedy gold, pretty much. And they get me knowledge of actual games that I want to try, like the 18 Wheel Extreme, whatever, I don't remember the name, but the game that they played that was actually kind of cool. So yeah, that's interesting. I only watch the main channel, like Duncan or Shin or whatever. Duncan's especially like annoying as fuck.
Well, to me, all of the Yogscasts are annoying as fuck.
I don't know, I like Lewis and Simon. Especially Lewis, I guess, for some reason. I enjoy his reactions to things, and he's just pretty much the way he is, I guess, would be an accurate way to say. But, I don't know. For each their own. It's not the kind of opinion that I would argue with you about at all. Portal. Thank you for
Antroid doesn't want to argue about opinions? Are you feeling well, Antroid?
Debatable. I don't know. There are some opinions that I would never want to like be asked to argue. I don't know. There aren't many of them, but there are some. Okay, this room seems dangerous. Why am I in this room, and why am I not buffed? Holy shit. Maybe because I'm not keeping track of what I do. Because I'm talking. The spells have the most ridiculous sound effects. Well, some of them. The Hour of Power gives like this little jingle. Dum ta dum dum ta dum dum ta dum. Each time I cast it. I wonder why Skyrim doesn't have that sort of... Does Skyrim have... I don't remember. I only remember like the 3 elemental attack spells from Skyrim and no magic beyond that. Does it have like temporary buffs?
It probably does. I'm not sure. I never use magic
Huh.
in Skyrim.
I'm just wondering what would be like if Skyrim had these kinds of musical like jingles for the buff spells, as this one does. Actually, Skyrim would have a lot to learn from the old Might and Magic games, in my opinion, in order to be a better game. Like, divide the game world into actual regions and not attempt to make the entire province completely like real fully, because I talked about this before and maybe even with you, but I remember the moment which opened my eyes at this. There was a book that I read which mentioned the book in Skyrim, with like one of the 3 that I read, I think, in Skyrim, which mentioned some guy running through the vast province like of Skyrim, running through the forests and fields for several days. And I just thought, how? There is not enough space there to run for several days. That's completely unrealistic. But in the Might Magic games, there is like the 5-day long travel times between the location, and it applies a much bigger world that's actually available to us. And I think that even though it's completely useless, it makes better atmosphere and immersion, and everyone knows that's the most important part of the game.
Well, I don't know, absence of any sorts of loading screens actually helps immersion, in my opinion.
Well, maybe in some games. Well, like in Dark Souls, once again, it's a small world there, because it's like a castle and a couple towns nearby and a couple caves and stuff like that. But when you have like a whole country, unless you really make it countryside, I don't think you should attempt to make it the entire area. It's like the cities in the GTA games. They really, once you familiarize yourself with the layout, they seem really small and really, I don't know, tiny and kind of artificial, and that's kind of gets you sad while you play those games at that point. At least that's how it happens for me, but I don't know. And in Skyrim, it's like the bits of Leso Park, the forest, which is like 5 minutes of walk from my house. I think it's larger than the entire Skyrim world, and that's just ridiculous. So I don't know. I think that Skyrim would be better if it had locations. Maybe like themed locations, like in these old games. So not just 1,000 similar forests, but one of the snowy, one of the swamp, one of the springs, or whatever was at the near the autumn birch location, the hot springs like area. Do you remember that place?
Well, the only autumn kind of area I can think of is probably around Riften somewhere.
Yeah, and I think it was to the north of that place. Not the Riften, but the area at large, because Riften was at the edge of the map, I think. But to the north of that place there was an area which I don't think there was any single quest of the main storyline that required you to ever go there. But it was very cool. I really liked that one area because it had like interesting things. It had a lot of the crawling like vines for plants, and it had a lot of hot springs and stuff like that. And there were even like naked people relaxing in the hot springs, so it was legitimate hot springs. Yeah, so that was an interesting area. But it's really kind of, especially when you go to the throat of the world and you see the entire game world, except for like the northmost part, because it's obscured by a couple mountain ranges. It really makes it feel like not a big world that it's trying to be. Okay, what am I trying to achieve here? Can I get anywhere from here? If I jump down, what happens here? Was I here before?
Don't ask me.
Are you not paying attention, Hippocat? I'm shocked.
Of course not.
I'm shocked and appalled. No, these are kind of useless pits here. And I cannot, well, I can. I totally can. Whoop. Okay, but was I up here before? And is there even a point of getting here? I have 2 letters left for me to find. And there seems to be a lot of actually space. Oh my freaking... Well, there's another tree. I guess when I have 1 letter left, I can always just brute force my way. But I want to explore the whole dungeon. And also... No. No. Yes. What's beacon? I feel like this is a bit cheap a strategy, but it works. So I'm not going to change it. Anyway. I also like that when a spell fails, it doesn't spend my turn. And similarly, when I bring up like the map via town portal, but then decide to cancel, I think in real time mode it took away my spell points and such, but in turn-based mode it doesn't. But that may be just complete bullshit. Okay. What's down here? Looks like a more pleasant area, because it's a lot smaller.
So how many of these trees are there?
Well, I think there's 5 letters in the word. So I got 3 so far. Two ones. Oh, key, cool, teleporter key. Two words, I mean 2 letters for certain, and 1 depending on one other letter that I'm going to get at some point. Okay, that's actually good boots. Really good boots for this guy. And I think the ring, speed 25. Let's see. There's bound to be a ring here with less speed somewhere. Oh wow, fixing.
Fixed.
So yeah, we have pretty much 2 trees left, and I saw one of them there. So it's not too long.
Fixed.
And really these dungeons, if they're big, they're not like so big that we can do them in 2 hours, and maybe 2 hours and 2.5. Oh, so many rings.
I don't know.
Crown. Guess better to identify the crown, because I think identifying items improves their price when you sell them. Okay, so yeah, I was browsing the rings. Speed. Spell points, intellect, might personality, accuracy. Speed 15, okay. And that ring is speed 25. But I think I am actually going to exchange Might 6 here, because Might 6 doesn't seem like that big a deal, but 25 speed is pretty cool. Also, I was really hoping that this would open. You probably can't see on the minimap, but this place looks like it connects to a dead end there in a corridor. It would be kinda cool if it opened, but no.
I kind of cannot see pretty much anything.
Well, that sucks, but what can you do, I guess. Also, suddenly there's 2 whole big areas which I don't remember ever. Ah, yeah, that's the there. There's the but where did the enemies come from? This is my question. Well, I guess if they came from somewhere else, it's better because I can take on them one-on-one. Okay, some kind of curing, please. I'm using his spell points, so why the hell am I not even using cures? Oh wow, no. This shit isn't going to fly. I'm fucked.
So, how exactly did it happen that you suddenly died? 3 times.
Well, there was just a shit ton of enemies, and I went to the open room where they all shot at me at once. So I'm just gonna hang back and use my bows. Actually, I wonder if it would be profitable to me at this point to do Mm. Mm. Wait a second. To do maybe this, hopefully. Let's see if my master plan works. Is this guy here fit to teach me? No, he is not. Freak. But I know that there is. Have we visited the area that I'm going to get to right now? I don't remember if we ever visited, but in any case, this is going to be a sneak peek. And also, oh no, the next area. Sorry, Kriegspiel will definitely visit. Also, oh wow, why did they? Ah, they're all insane. Oh, nice. That's why they don't have spell points. Let's run through Kriegspiel. I actually kind of want to. Damn it.
Okay, I'm sorry, Antroid. I got kinda lost for a moment here. Why exactly did we flee the dungeon and are going somewhere?
Well, I didn't really explain, so that's fair enough. I
Can we assist you?
discovered pretty much, if you remember, that sniping with bows would be a good tactic, so I thought, why not buff our bows a little bit? So with that in mind, I am going to now. Okay, first of all, I'm going to earn. Oh no, fuck that. I'm just going to fly to the area where we might not have been before, where I guess the only trainer that is capable of training my guys at this point lives.
We can't rest here.
Fuck, can't rest here. Paradise Valley. Welcome to an area that doesn't have any dungeons, that has hiders and some other stuff, and has a village of giant houses that is populated by titans which attack me. But for some reason the actual inhabitants of the houses, the NPCs, are friendly, and among them there is a teacher, which I don't think is limited by our level numbers, so let's go and meet that teacher. No.
Closed.
But it's close, of course, because it's night. What was I thinking? Okay, let's see if we can fly somewhere safe.
We can't rest here.
Hahaha, safe in Paradise Valley, how funny.
There are hostile enemies near. So does that mean there are friendly enemies in the game?
I don't
Or
think so.
what?
No. Maybe the enemies that we charm with the charm spell could count as friendly enemies.
Good job.
But yeah, there's a teacher in here that teaches Master Dark Magic, but we have to be total assholes. And to be such assholes... Okay, first of all, let's actually do this, because I don't want to spend food and time again. Oh, frick. Well, I always have autosave for that. Set beacon. Now, town portal. Let's fix
Fixed.
whatever the titans broke there. Not much. And now, well, first let's bows. Okay. Which one? Yeah, bowmaster. I think it requires 8. So let's have everyone have enough bow skills. Even though some of these guys will not be as masterful at blasters by the time we get blasters, bows are pretty much just like blasters, but a bit worse. But it's all we have right now.
A bit worse, just a little bit.
Well, in this game, yeah, bows are pretty cool. And to get reputation bad enough for that, for training to master black magic, dark magic rather, we just pretty much have to do something like, well, first I'm gonna go to Blackshear, because I think I don't care about, no, Blackshear, Kriegspiel, this is Blackshear. I don't care about Kriegspiel as much. Let's go there.
So you have to kick babies
Uh,
and pull cats' tails or something. Will this get you bad enough?
There are no babies or cats in this game, sadly, but... Ah, damn it, there are no NPCs. Of course, there wouldn't be any NPCs in this freaking Kriegspier. Well, at least I can go and train both. This is the funny part. Kriegspier is a castle in a volcano, and it's completely like abandoned, destroyed, and occupied by minotaurs and monsters. But strangely enough, on the top floors here there are people living. Somehow.
So somebody actually thought that it's a good idea to build a castle inside the volcano.
Well, it's like a dormant volcano, and the castle was built in to like study, I think, or something. But the best part was last time I was here. Yeah, this guy, Desmond Weller,
Yes.
and it's free.
Yes. Yes.
One of the guys here said he had Kriegspier a topic for discussion, and he pretty much said, blah blah blah, Kriegspier, but nowadays there are no humans living in that castle, only monsters. And I was like, huh, are you aware of what it says about you, good man? But that was just, I don't know, an oversight. But in this game people live in the weirdest places. Yeah, okay, fuck it, let's do this to Blackshear, I guess. Do you see like anything on screen right now well enough?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Do you see the name of the spell that I'm pointing?
Yeah, Armageddon spell. Whoa, that's... Whoa.
So now I have bad enough reputation. Let's go and find that trainer.
So it just kills everyone on the location?
Oh, not kill, it just inflicts a lot of damage.
Nice to see.
But some enemies just outright immune to that, so it's not very useful for killing enemies, but it's fun, I guess.
Talking about Armageddon and fun, and since you mentioned Ultima, I think there is Armageddon in Ultima that just kills everyone in the world, except Lord British, who is immortal.
Yeah, I remember something like that from the retrospective.